So I wanted to talk about what I did today, which is I just signed up to learn how to become a professional wrestler. There is a wrestling school by me called Monster Factory. So if you're a wrestling fan, you definitely know who Sheamus is, and Matt Riddle. If you even watch UFC, you probably know who that is. Damian Priest, many others have been trained at this wrestling school. So I just want to talk about why I did it, what my thoughts are. You can see them bubbling around behind me. And just kind of talk more about like the financial side of the journey as well. I don't see quite as much about that. And I feel like a lot of fans like don't sort of know what that side of it is. So I've been a wrestling fan since 2011. So for 12 years, I'm 41. So in the wrestling industry, even in society, like that's considered old. Lady Frost, who is an amazing, amazing wrestler, actually tried out for WWE, and she was literally told by Vince McMahon that she was too old. So that's like bullshit. I've never believed in age being anything more than a number. People do tell me that I look young. Most people think that I'm like between 21 and 25. I've never really had somebody like accurately guess my age. I don't care though, right? Like Lady Frost is amazing. Like go look at her moonsaults and like tell me that she can't wrestle, and like she's doing her thing now in other companies. But I've been a fan. I just love the larger than life personas. I love the characters. I love the gimmicks. I love the drama. I love the bitch fights, cat fights, the slapping, like, no, she didn't just say that, and all that shit, right? The drama, the confrontations, it's campy. Like, if you're into, like, drag at all, like, it's very similar elements in professional wrestling, right? Where it's very theatrical. So, like, that's my interest in it, honestly, is that I'm interested as a fan, but I'm also interested in the storytelling aspect of it, character development, and just establishing that connection with the audience, right? Like making the audience feel an emotion and feel a connection. Like that really like intrigues me. So beyond all of like the moves and the flips and the athleticism, yes, that's amazing. It's impressive and it's like awe-inspiring, but it's not intriguing to me. Like what intrigues me is the emotion that's within wrestling, the psychology, like the ring psychology, like I said, the storytelling, right? Like the chemistry between the wrestlers, things like that just have always intrigued me. And I decided that I wanted to try it myself. Why not, right? You can always come up with a million reasons why not. I have arthritis. See the yellow? I've had arthritis since I was 19. I'm 41, 22 years. I stopped taking my medication, prescription medication for it, about 3 or so years ago. There's no cure, and the medication had a lot of side effects. So to me, that doesn't make sense. It's better to just try to like mitigate the symptoms as much as I can. So it's all over though. I have arthritis in my back. I have it in my spine. I have something called ankylosing spondylitis, which is just arthritis in the spine. It's in my back. It's in like most of my joints, literally, like my elbows, my knees, my ankles, so on and so forth. But it's the worst in my back, my lower spine, and my neck. So I do different things. Like I use heat packs. I have CBD cream. Like I try to do different things. I try not to take a leave. If it's really bad, I'll take a leave. Epsom salt soaks used to help, but honestly, it doesn't help my back. And my back is like my main issue, right? Social anxiety. I have really, really, really severe social anxiety. So in real life, if I don't know people, like it's very, very challenging and difficult for me to talk to people that I don't know. It's difficult for me to open up. It's difficult for me to do small talk and like hold and carry a conversation. Things that I've observed, especially when I was still in corporate, people doing kind of easily or effortlessly, or I didn't see them like struggle the way that I would. So obviously, you know, training in professional wrestling when I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in front of a class of strangers that I don't know, that's going to be mostly or all men, definitely triggers my social anxiety. I have a very low pain tolerance. Like, it is low. Like, I get upset if, like, my blood is taken with a butterfly needle. And that's the small needle that they literally use with children. Hopefully that gets across to you how non-existent my pain tolerance levels are. So with wrestling, it's scripted, it's choreographed, it's predetermined. It still hurts though, right? And you are going to have wear and tear. If you've ever seen like WrestleMania or even like a commercial or something for wrestling, like on Fox, if you're watching like football or something, the mat that's inside of the ring that you see the wrestlers in, it is literally just wooden floorboards. It's planks of wooden floorboards. You're repeatedly slamming your back against that, okay? That's going to cause like wear and tear damage over time, right? Like that's not good for anyone's back, anyone's neck, anyone's spine. So it's not true that wrestling doesn't have injuries and it's all fake. It's definitely predetermined. I didn't say that it's UFC. I didn't say that it's boxing, right? It's choreographed, it's scripted, it's predetermined ahead of time, right? But there are risks involved, right? And there is wear and tear involved. So those are some of just like the thoughts I have going into it. It's a lifetime membership. So basically like I have access to train there whenever I want to. And then you have to just pay once a year, like an annual fee just to kind of like renew your lifetime membership. So I'm afraid of failing. I kind of like didn't know how much space I would have because like I had to be in the fucking video, but I'm afraid of failing. For all I know, I can't even execute like a flat back bump. It's like one of the most basic moves in wrestling, but it's like counterintuitive because you're falling backwards and you can't defend yourself and you have to like spread your arms out flat, but then you have to tuck your chin and your head at the right exact moment. And if you fuck it up, like you're completely messing up the move and like you're potentially fucking your neck and your back up. I don't know that I can do that. I don't know that I can run the ropes properly, like the ropes like that you see in a wrestling ring. These things that the professionals on TV, that the WWE stars like Bayley and Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus and all of them, right? Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, that they make it look so easy. It's because they're motherfucking professionals that know what they're doing, right? You can actually like really hurt yourself just trying to execute the most basic wrestling move on God's green earth. So I'm just worried. I'm not somebody who has a lot of physical coordination. I played softball for 10 years and I ran track, but I never played a sport like that was contact. Like I never played basketball. I never played soccer. I never played lacrosse. So it's like, obviously softball and baseball is not a contact sport. I don't really have experience kind of being like physically assertive or aggressive or like getting in somebody's physical space. Obviously you have to do that as a wrestler. So I'm just afraid of like, despite whatever my best efforts are going to be, maybe I just don't pick it up. And at that point, like, you know, if you're holding the class back, like, you know, they're going to basically kind of like phase you out of the class, but then they have like open times where like anybody can just come into the school and like anybody's welcome to the mat that has a membership. But yeah, I'm going to get like a wrestling mat for my apartment just so I can practice things like somersaults and like basic moves like in my living room. But yes, I'm afraid of like fucking humiliating myself in front of a class of strangers I don't know, especially when I have social anxiety. I'm afraid of failing. But that's it in the class. I don't care about online. Like I've already like talked about it on my Facebook and like I've added it to my LinkedIn just that I'm training. It is freelance. I want to just mention that super quickly. Like I see a lot of people that think like WWE superstars like Sasha Banks when she was still with the company. She's a millionaire. She's a freelancer though. You're a corporate employee of WWE only if you work in Connecticut. Like, right? Like, she's a freelancer. It's like actors, but there's no union. There's no SAG-AFTRA. So it's like, you're not getting benefits. You're paying for your own hotel. You're paying for your own travels. Like, on top of this, obviously, like, they decide if you ever get to debut or not, right? So there's no guarantee just because you pass the training that you're going to debut and actually wrestle in front of an audience. But I have some freelance projects I'm doing, some data entry, database projects. I might go back to door dashing. But yeah, if you want to follow along on my journey and see what happens, just click the follow button. I'm going to keep you all updated and wish me luck.